Hey up and welcome to the video, and let me just explain some background to this one. As you know, it's been really hot, it's been too hot, the sky's been too blue, the heat's been too high, everything's been against us as photographers for going out and doing some comfortable photography. On top of that, I suffer with hay fever. This year it's been particularly bad. Apparently we've had a pollen bomb according to the weather forecasters, and yeah, so there's been that as well. So I've been inside catching up on some processing, as you do, but I'm at the stage now where my eyes have gone 16:9, and that's not good. So I decided I needed to get out, and the plan was to go into the Peak District on Father's Day morning because we'd got a break in the weather. We'd got storms and rain on the way, and there was a window of opportunity on Sunday morning. So I got everything planned, got everything charged up on Saturday night. I got up at 4 o'clock on Sunday morning and rechecked the weather, and the storms had moved forward in the day, so the Peak District was going to be out of the question. So I went back to bed for a few hours, got up, had some breakfast and looked at the local weather, and I thought, well, I'd planned to do a recce locally for a sunrise, a future sunrise. Sunrise was kind of 4:38, so quite early in the morning. So I thought, I'll take my camera, a couple of lenses, I'll take the Osmo just in case I see anything, and off I went, local, before it rained, which it was forecast to rain later, along with some thunderstorms. So I went and found a location for a potential sunrise, literally 10 minutes away from home, which is ideal when it's 4:38 in the morning. On the way back, I came across a field. Well, there was lots of fields, and in the corner of this field there was the poppies that you saw in the intro video there. And I thought, at first, I'll just get a few shots for Instagram, you know, poppies in the field, make some nice images, maybe some images for prints. And I got there, and as you can see, there was lots of bees flying around, and I thought, wouldn't it be great to get the classic shot of the bee coming into land on the poppy, just about to start to collect the pollen. Now, I'd only got two lenses with me. I'd got the 24-70 and the 70-200. The 70-200 was out of the question because I was going to be too close to the flower. I needed to be slightly back so I could anticipate the bee coming into the shot. So I started with a 24-70 and about 50mm. And as you can see, I had some element of success, but I didn't nail the shot. I didn't quite get to where I wanted it to be. And I kind of thought, you know what, I really need that macro lens here to give myself a good chance of nailing this shot. It's local, so what we'll do, when the weather's settled again, I would come back and reshoot this scene with a macro lens. You could see that there was still quite a few poppies ready to open, so I had a bit of time to try and nail this shot. So I decided to come back with the macro lens. Well, I've come back in the evening, just after 6 o'clock, and I'm here at the poppies. And there's no bees. So I think I'm going to have to come back tomorrow morning when there's some bees. There's flies, very small wasps, but no bees. So we're going to be back tomorrow morning to see if the bees are here. We'll get in nice and early. Maybe it's because it's been raining today, I don't know. It's been literally raining all day, and we've now got sunshine breaking through the clouds, so but no bees. So, no bees, and very much damaged poppies from the heavy rain. You can see in this example here the poppy had been obliterated from the gallons of water that had fallen. So rather than wasting this walk out, I went and took some creative shots here using the sun against this crop in the field. So this first image, we've got the crop in the foreground in silhouette and the sun in the upper left thirds with a few filters applied. Makes a nice shot. Then I did this other one slightly close up, the sun in the background, and again it's a nice shot. It wasn't a wasted walk. So the plan was to come back again with a macro lens to finally try and nail this shot. So we went back Wednesday morning. The forecast was wall-to-wall sunshine all day, so we went back fairly early and had another go. Hey up, it's now Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock, and I've come back and we've had more heavy rain overnight, and heavy rain is not doing the poppies any good because it's destroying them. So I've come out this morning hoping that we've got some some fresh poppies have opened up overnight and that the bees are out and they're busy. Okay, so it's about, is it 10 o'clock? Let's have a look. It's dead on 10 o'clock, and I'm just going to give myself an hour here to see if I can nail this shot. The wind keeps changing. There are fresh poppies out, which I'm glad about, and there's also quite a few more ready to flower. So I am on ISO 800, which is giving me quite a fast shutter speed, f11, and let's see if we can nail this shot. And there's two things against me. There's the wind that's against me, and that's also against the bees because they're having to try and land on the moving flower, and it looks like I think I'm going to have to come back when we have no wind. It's just challenging. Everything is moving, and I'm moving from flower to flower, and once I see a bee land, it goes because it's disturbed by the wind. But I don't give up. I am gonna carry on with this until I nail the shot. There is a bee hovering over the flower, and that's why I'm continuously pressing this shutter. It's just buffered and it's in the shade, it's dark, but hopefully I'm just going to drop down. It's nicely hovering over the flower. Okay, I think I'm gonna go back and see. I've got some nice shots of poppies on their own. I'm hoping I have nailed this shot, but we've had better success, I think, using the macro lens. Let's go back and see what we've ended up with. Okay, let's look at the results of that particular shoot then. So as I said in the video, I'd set the ISO to 800, and this was giving me a nice solid shutter speed of 1,000th of a second or above when I was filming up in the open sort of space where the flowers were higher up. They were catching all the light that was falling on them. So you can see from these images here, when I was shooting at that shutter speed, I was getting results that freezed everything, freezed all the motion that was happening around me. When I went down to the lower flower and I switched to continuous shutter, because it was in the shade there, automatically the camera lowered the shutter speed. So you can see here with the lower shutter speed, it had the effect of not freezing the action. That shutter speed was not high enough to do the job that was needed here with the speed of the bee moving and the wind. And frustratingly, you can see the bee was in some really nice positions here. It was hovering, trying to wait for the flower to unflap because the wind was blowing it round. So the bee was waiting and it was hovering, and that's why I switched into continuous mode. And I got some nice shots, but they're just not pin sharp. There's too much motion still going on. So this was kind of a fail, to be honest. I got some nice shots, but not the particular shot that I wanted. If I'd have stopped to check here and bumped the ISO up, I think I probably would have nailed the shot. But a bit of a schoolboy error, but we will remember next time. Now, I had intended to go out and give this another go. And a couple of nights ago, I went to do a sunset, a local sunset. And I passed the field with the poppies and they're gone. They've disappeared. And I thought, okay, so I'm not going to have another crack at this, but we'll leave it till next year. So I will. But I have learnt, I'm more prepared now for photographing this subject. So I do know now that bees come out between 10 and 4. They do a 10 till 4 shift, and their peak activity is sort of early afternoon in the heat of the day, just the time when we don't want to be out, but there you go. And I've learnt to avoid the wind, and I've learnt that we want to have a shutter speed of 1/1000th of a second or above. Use a macro lens. That's going to give us the best results. So we'll end with a slideshow of the images that I was happy with. And yesterday I went out to film the next video, which is in the Peak District, and I parked in the village of Hartingdon, and I took a walk up through Beresford Dale and Wolfscott Dale, and went building compositions. And there's some really nice shots that I took from inside a cave there. So look out for that video, which should follow on from this one. So thank you for watching this video. If you've liked the content, please give it a like, it does help. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. This channel is always going to be free. I'm not going to ask you to be a Patreon. I'm not going to ask you to buy me a coffee. I finance this channel from my stock photography sales, so that pays for all the petrol and the parking and anything else, or any other costs I get. So this is always going to be a free channel. Okay, so let's crack on with the slideshow. And once again, massive thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.